Hello everyone and welcome to this new project. In this project, we are going to learn the basics of regression and we're going to learn the basics of SageMaker and how to build the model in SageMaker, how to train that model, and how to deploy that model as well and make inferences based on the model. So we're going to have a ton of learning. I'm super excited, so let's get started. All right, so first let's start with the project overview. So in this project, the objective is to predict the employee salary based on the number of years of experience. Please note that this project is an extremely simple project and it's actually made intentionally in this way because SageMaker, there's a lot of ins and outs in it, there's a lot of details in it. So I just thought of providing you guys with a very simple case study in the beginning. So again, the course is geared towards beginners in AWS SageMaker. And I just don't want it to bombard you with a massive case study with a lot of data and so on. So first, we're going to start very small. We're going to learn the basics of SageMaker, how to train models, deploy them, and so on. And then moving on, we're going to deal with real-world data set and a lot more complicated data set. Okay, so in this case study, we are going to have two columns, basically. I have inputs and I have outputs. And this data has been collected from the Human Resources Department. So simply put, the Human Resources Department wanted to, in general, when they try to hire new employees, they wanted to predict their salary. They just want to write them an offer and say, okay, like, I just want to say, how much should I pay that newly hired employee? So a lot of factors comes into play, but here in this case study, we are going to assume that we only have one factor, which is the number of years of experience. For example, if I have an employee and this employee passed the interview process, everything looks great, and now I'm basically want to give him an offer or make him an offer. So what Human Resources Department could say, okay, I can take a look at the previous data, at the historical data, and see if I have an employee with 1.1 years of experience, they are generally paid maybe $39,000. If I have another employee, maybe who has more experience, maybe has 4 years of experience, we generally pay him $56,000 a year, and so on. So this data has been collected from the Human Resources Department, and the objective here is to develop a regression-based model. I'm going to cover again what I mean by regression, but the objective is to try to relate these two columns together, this data together. I just want to provide a mathematical model, a machine learning model, that the Human Resources Department can make predictions, basically, or salary predictions based on the number of years of experience. Again, very simple, very straightforward. All right, so let's cover the deliverables or outcomes. So the final outcome of this project is to come up with a linear regression model. That's all what I want. That's all what I'm looking for. A basic mathematical equation. When I say model, that means a simple equation, trained equation or trained model. And the objective is, if I feed in that model with the number of years of experience, the model should work right away and tell me, okay, based on this, the salary should be, let's say, 50,000, 60,000, and so on. Okay, that's all what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's see, how can we do that? So to develop that mathematical model, first, we need to collect the data, and we have already done that. So now we have the number of years of experience. Here I have my employee salary. And what I could do here is that I could simply plot the number of years of experience with the employee salary. Simply, I can take each of these points and come here and plot them, basically. So I can say, okay, 1.1 years here, for example, that's equivalent to $40,000. I can take 4 years of experience here, for example. I can go here, and that's equivalent to maybe $63,000 or $55,000, for example, and so on. And all what I'm looking for is that I wanted to fit a straight line, which is this straight line, to go through that data, and that's all what I'm looking for. So when I develop what we call it a simple linear regression model, all what I wanted to do is to come up with an equation of a straight line that can go through that data and minimize the error, or minimize the fit error. I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that in the future, in the next couple of lectures. But that's basically all what I'm looking for. And so basically, once I have that trained model, once I have it, then if I have a new employee with, let's say, 3 years of experience, the HR department can use that model and can make predictions accordingly. Can say, okay, based on my model, based on my learnings from the past, I can or should give that employee $40,000 in annual salary, for example, and so on. Again, very simple, very straightforward, and that's the objective for this case study. And that's it. That's all what I have for this case study. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next lecture, we are going to cover the basics of simple linear regression. So please stay tuned and please enjoy SageMaker practical course, and I will see you guys in the next lecture.